Hey everybody. I want to take some time to talk about something that happened today. It kind of hit home, right? So I had somebody open up about an eating disorder that they're struggling with, and at first they didn't want to talk about it because they felt embarrassed. And I completely understand that, you know. I'm not going to put their name out there or anything like that. But I also want to acknowledge the fact that there's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know, I don't think we really realize the amount of other people that struggle with some of the same things that we do. Like, yeah, we're different, but so many people deal with a lot of the same things. And the reason we don't know about it is because we don't talk about it openly, because of that shame, that guilt. But, you know, if you just keep everything inside and you don't talk about how you're feeling or what you're going through, there's really no room for external support, right? Like, you're not allowing anybody in to help you. And things like eating disorders are really hard to get over by yourself. Like, the mentality that goes behind it is extremely difficult. And I'm going to kind of dive into my own experience because this is something that I've struggled with before. It's not so much as the not eating as the gluttonous side of things. And a lot of people be like, huh, like, you don't look like somebody who had an eating problem. And again, it's the mentality that's behind it. I ate in a way that made me feel ashamed and guilty. And I wasn't meeting my goals that I set for myself. And I was constantly going against what I thought I would eat without really wanting to eat. I would just eat out of compulsion. And then I'd have to go to the gym and work my ass off to get any of that back, that self-esteem back. And I've struggled with this for a long time now. And I've talked about it periodically. A lot of people just, I don't talk deep enough about it though. It kind of confuses some of the people that I talk to about it. It's a hard thing to understand. Like, how does that even make sense? Most people just eat what they want to eat, and that's okay. Whereas people with an eating disorder, it's a little bit more difficult than that. Like, there's more to it. That mindset, you know, that obsession. I obsessed over food. There were periods of time where I couldn't walk past food, candy specifically, and not think about it. I'd tell myself that I'm not going to eat it. And then I'm sitting somewhere and I'm constantly thinking about it until I walk past it the next time, and then I pick it up and I say, fuck it, right? And that's a dangerous phrase right there, fuck it, right? Giving in. But so it's really difficult to figure out how to deal with this, right? Especially when we think that we're alone in it. So the first step would be to acknowledge it, right? Develop the awareness about it. I'm aware that there's a problem, but then opening up to somebody about it. We need an outside perspective because our mind is the one telling us to behave the way that we are, right? So if we rely completely on our mind, it's going to keep tricking us back into that same behavior until we find a way to deal with that. And we need help, right? It's okay to need help. It's okay to ask for help. Support is one of the greatest things you could have. I'm so grateful for the people in my life that encourage my growth. You know, two mentors off the top of my head that I consider mentors. You know, they're people that I open up to when I need to, and they give me that outside perspective. So eating disorders no different than any other problem that we come across. Obsession, compulsion, addiction, right? Whatever it is, we can be addicted to the control we feel by not eating or by restricting ourselves or overeating, because that's something that we can control. And control plays a big role in that, right? Taking back control. What we don't realize is the damage that we're ultimately doing to ourselves. Some of us stay in denial. Some of us, it's not strong enough, right? So there's a phrase that I love so much, and it's like, when the pain outweighs the pleasure, we make the change, right? We change. And that's so true, right? Like, once the problem becomes big enough, once our lives become unmanageable because of it for whatever reason, where, you know, getting sick, it's affecting our mood, right? How we treat other people, like these things start coming out, the more and more we get consumed by these obsessive and compulsive thoughts and behaviors. But once we become aware of that, I'm going to say it's simple to overcome, but it's not, right? We make it so complicated. But change requires time and effort, right? Patience, but it also requires persistence and willingness, right? Dedication, commitment, accountability. Finding the things to put in place to give us the room, the courage, the knowledge, the whatever you want to call it, to do something about it. For me, it's putting the people in place. It's about making the small changes that eventually go into the bigger changes. For me, my struggle, I over time made periodic little changes that I was confident doing. One led to the next. I would revert, and then I'd go into making another one, until eventually I got to the point where I got sick of reverting. I got sick of, you know, giving in. I got sick of going backwards. I finally got myself in the state of mind where I completely said, I don't want to live this way anymore. I need to do something about it. It is too detrimental to my mental health, to my physical health, right? I can feel the effects of the foods that I was eating on my body and my mind, and I got tired of it, right? The pain finally outweighed the pleasure. And I'm still in the beginning stages of that, and it's extremely difficult. Constantly seeing, you know, junk food and things that I crave, you know, things that I love that I would normally eat just once in a while. And I treat it like a drug addiction, like just say no. Like I just can't have it. I can't just have one, right? I'm aware of that. I know that. That's just how it is. That's how it has to be for me. Everybody's different. But, you know, I set things in place for my success, right? I shop according to what I need to shop for, right? I have the things at home that I need to have at home so that when I have cravings to eat bullshit, I have something else to replace that. I talk to people about it, right? I make, in whatever way that is, you know, up front, joking around, however I need to talk about it, to kind of remind myself. I remind myself about it. I'm constantly seeking information. I want to learn, right? Hormones, nutrition, you know, imbalances, things like that. Like the more knowledge that I have, the more I have to combat it, right? And the more I know, the more disgusted I am of eating a lot of the shit that made me ashamed and guilty. So that's my process, right? Just finding the information, the scientific data, you know, whatever it is that appeases my mind to continue through this process that I'm trying to do, this change that I'm trying to make. Setting goals and small steps is also a key thing, right? So making tiny changes, right? So say you don't eat at all, right? You just refuse to eat. You have body image issues, whatever it is. So you've acknowledged it. Now you need to make steps to do something about it. So maybe setting an alarm, right? Keeping protein bars by you or something, right? Always keep carrots or vegetables or whatever the fuck you like around, and setting alarms. And you know what? Maybe forcing yourself to eat is something that you need to do. And that sounds kind of fucked up, but for some people that might work. You know, talk to somebody, have somebody help keep you accountable, right? Because that's what's so cool about people that care about you. They are willing to help you when you need them, right? The people that care will be there. You know, asking them, hey, can you check in on me once in a while? And most people who care won't have an issue doing that, right? Because if you're not going to say something to me and I care about you, I'm going to bring it up once in a while. You know, hey, have you eaten today? Or hey, you know, what are you trying to do today? You know, and also give them the opportunity to contact you when they're having cravings that they don't want to cave into, right? And this isn't just about food, right? This is about the mentality again. You know, keep each other accountable. Support each other, encourage. It's hard, right? Be open-minded, non-judgmental. But also remember that there are people that are non-judgmental that want to help, that want to support you, that want to encourage you. Find those people and keep them close, because those people matter, right? Let them help you. Whatever it is, you have to put the things in place. If you really want it that bad, you have to make the effort to get it, right? Every little step counts. Every little change matters, right? If you have to do it slowly and progressively, that's fine. If you're the person that needs to make an ultimate change right now, you have to be ready for it. Don't do it and not be prepared for it, right? Do what you need to do ahead of time. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? And that couldn't be any more true. Set yourself up for success by planning. Don't set yourself up for failure by not planning. Prepare yourself mentally, physically, whatever you have to do. Really, I mean, there's just so much to it, and I'd love to just continue talking about this because, again, it's something that I've struggled with personally. But, you know, find the people to talk to, ask for help. That's the beginning stages, right? Admit that there's a problem. Admit that you've tried to do it on your own before and can't, right? Ask for help. Let somebody help you set up the steps, help you accomplish the goals that you're trying to accomplish. And the more and more you do things, like for me, the more and more that I commit to this, the more and more that I follow through on it, the better I feel, right? Every day that I don't do something that I don't want to do, right? Every time I don't use a pink sugar in my coffee, every time that I don't eat a piece of candy, every time that I don't eat those cookies is an accomplishment for me, and I acknowledge that, right? Every time I say no, I accomplished something, right? Feel good about that shit, right? But that establishes longevity, right? This is how we continue to act this way, is by reaffirming, by encouraging that behavior. So just be patient, keep doing it, stick to it. If you fall off, don't worry about it. You've had the problem already. Not to say it's going to be okay, but it's going to be okay. Give yourself some credit. You've gotten into the state of mind that's okay. You have to break that cycle, and that takes work, that takes time. But anyway, please, if you want to talk about this with me, that's fine. Contact me. I'm completely open to it. If you want to talk to about somebody else, I encourage that too. Whatever you do, stay positive, keep moving forward, and put the things in place in your life that's going to help you grow. Anyway, that's all I got. I hope this helps somebody. And, take care.